This is the Accsoon SeeMo Pro. It turns your favorite iOS device into an on-camera monitor.
This is a CineD Gear News video, supported by B&H and CVP.
Hey everyone, Graham Mailer Sheldon here from CineD.com. Welcome to NAB 2023. I'm here at the Accsoon booth with Mitch from Accsoon. How's it going, Mitch?
It's going very well. It's been a great show for us.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, near the end now. We're staying hydrated, we're drinking a lot of coffee. Life is good. So let's talk about the Accsoon SeeMo Pro. It's on the back of this iPad here. What are we looking at?
So the SeeMo Pro, we introduced the SeeMo back about 6 months ago, and that's been very, very popular. Of course, that device was designed for lower end people doing YouTube work and such like that, being able to then rise up in the industry and be able to, instead of shooting something just on their phone, being able to expand to shooting with a better camera and being able to do that kind of work that they do. Well, that's great, but of course, immediately the professional industry saw what this product was like, and they were like, hey, we want into this too.
Yeah, we want one for us.
Exactly. And so the next step was the logical step of advancing to the SeeMo Pro. This now has, instead of just HDMI input, this has HDMI as well as SDI. And it actually has an SDI pass-through as well. This is all metal construction, so it's a nice, solid, professional piece of gear. And then it also has powering options, so that there's not only can you run it off like a regular NPF battery, the small battery that clips right on there, different sizes available for that. But also we have power in over a LiMo 2 type connector, and then powering outputs and such, as well as the fact that it will power and recharge your iPad or iPhone as it's running. So then you have, now power questions using this all day in a professional environment, such all that kind of goes away. You don't have to even think about it. It's just a complete kit and unit.
Thank you for the LiMo connector, just for a moment, that it clicks in there. Barrel connectors are cool, but I yank them out sometimes accidentally. So LiMo, we love.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is we really wanted to make this as a proper professional tool. It can mount onto your iPad or iPhone. This is our cage for for an iPad mini, and we have cages for iPhones and iPads of the different sizes, including the Pro. iPad Pro is a fantastic monitor with this. I mean, you're talking, the next step up from that in quality as a monitor, I don't know, 10 grand or something,
Yeah, I mean, it's something you might already have on the job in the first place, which I like, and it cuts down on just stuff you have to travel with. You know what I mean? You're already bringing your iPad, and now it's also a monitor too.
That was a really important consideration for us. Everyone has an iPhone with them, sure. I mean, maybe you're into a different system, but it's like they're always around, and they're also very cheap to buy, like old used ones if you wanted to. But everyone is also increasingly using iPads for so many different services. I mean, it's not just doing your email or surfing the net. You have a lot of programs that are actively being used to, log shots, do editing, do visual effects, doing live stream, doing lots of different professional tools that you're using with your iPads. And so we are now another utilization of this device, which also has this beautiful quality screen to it. It's whisper thin, so it's easy to travel with. Why not make it work with that many more kind of functionality? So we send a signal into here, and it's not just sending the signal. We have our free app, and that app has all the monitoring functions you could ever want with, anamorphic D-squeeze and false color and waveform and 3D LUTs and audio meters if you want, whatever you want to see, magnification you can do. We take advantage of the iPad and iPhone abilities. You can pinch to magnify, things like that. So we have all that kind of functionality as a brilliant on-camera monitor. But then up from that, we're like, okay, this is a little computer here. What else can we do? So we do frame grabs, right? You can do reference frame grabs of your actual image, or you can do a 1080p up to 60 frames a second recording. Now it's a 30 megabit a second. It's going to be, like maybe it's your backup recording or something, or maybe for the type of work you're doing, that's plenty. That's great, But
like maybe a quick social export or something that you just need to do, maybe something like that.
Absolutely. In fact, Another way to use it is you could do that with the recording if it's something for like near live, but if you are live, you can switch it to live stream.
Oh, that's cool.
So now because this is a mobile device, you can actually be live streaming the signal using our app and then feeding into one of those many services. We're not trying to reinvent the world here. We're trying to make a really useful tool. But it's also, there are, like I was saying, a lot of other applications that are in the iOS world. And so why limit ourselves? Why limit people to what they can do? Instead, we're building out partnerships with many different companies. So we have a few that are going to be announced soon, but some that we've already announced is like someone like, say, TVU or Switcher Studio. Now they can, instead of having their camera signals just being the cameras that are built into here, they can read our signal that goes into their iOS device, whether it's iPhone or iPad, and then goes into Switcher Studio. Now you can do a multicam system, and you can be doing a live switch between them. So now it's a very powerful system. We also have hardware accessories. We worked with Zacuto, and they came up with, on an iPhone, they have a viewfinder. Zacuto has been making viewfinders for different devices, put on different screens. Been doing that for many years now. They made one that's really nice, and we worked out with them so that we adapted our software so that we shrink the image to about 2/3 the size of the screen. It still is, it's better than 720p. It's a very high resolving image. It looks really terrific, but then it leaves the side of the screen available, and the eye cup doesn't cover that. Instead, that leaves that available so that when your eye is looking in the eyepiece, your thumb can just find where, like, if you need like the magnify button or an exposure tool or something to just see what you're doing there, you can actually use it as a brilliant viewfinder. And in fact, one of their things is, because they do, a lot of their clients are into social media work and such, they have the system where you can rotate it all vertically. Well, guess what? iPhones love to be rotated vertically, no problem. You can just do that and things. So you can just reach all the connectivity in there. We even are working now with a lighting company. So I also work with ProLight. And so we work with ProLight. They have control system for their lights, and it can be running off of an iPad or an iPhone. So we can take the signal from the SeeMo, go into the iPad. It can then go into ChromaLink, which is the software that is used by ProLight. That is their free software. And now you can control the lights based on the video signal that's coming from the SeeMo, from your camera, or from whatever video signal you might want to be sending it, and you can control your lights. Now you can do things like process shots and virtual studio production work for a fraction of the cost of what other systems, really advanced, terrific systems. You don't always need all of that to do the type of work you might want to be doing. Here you can build it in. You have interactive lighting from whatever your background is. The lights are changing along with it, just on a system that, this is a device, this is $350. And then you go into your iPad, which you already have because you're running all these other things and doing all this other work. It's amazing the effectiveness of just getting into this ecosphere, because so many manufacturers are doing things in this ecosphere.
I mean, honestly, one of my favorite parts about this is you're embracing what people already have in their pockets or on set or in their backpack. You're not fighting it, right? The camera purists out there would be like, mobile phones, you're embracing what is already a huge part of the industry and is here to stay. I mean, I do want to bring up Android users. There's some Android people out there on the planet. Any plans to support them in the future? Even, I know, for a mobile device, or I know it's iOS right now, but I have to ask.
So here's the thing, love them or hate them, Apple has a continuity between all of their devices. As a system, they all perform in equal ways and equal levels. It's not true of Android because it's sort of the Wild West. There's all these different manufacturers.
A little more open source.
And there's different chipsets that go on and stuff. And so either we would have to make like 50 different versions of this device, or we'd have to dumb it down so much so that it just simply would not be effective and wouldn't do that. We actually have, it's called the M1. We have a device that we came out with that can just turn an Android device into a monitor. It's limited. It's much, much more limited than what we can do with iOS because there's consistency throughout the iOS sphere.
I certainly understand that. Okay, so $350, right? And coming with any sort of accessories, what comes with it?
So at $350, you get it with a couple of cables, one to USB-C for iPads and one to Lightning for iPhones. And then there's a mounting plate so that it can attach to our system. You see this mounting plate right here, and then there's a mounting surface right here. This is our cage for iPad mini. We have cages for all these different devices, and then we also have various adapter mounting plates so that you can go in between other things. It has quarter 20 stuff and things, so you can just stick it on whatever sort of thing.
And DTAP to LEMO, that cable is like an a la carte purchase?
Yeah, because a lot of people are just going to, take an MP1 battery and snap that on there, so they don't want to have that cable. So like, it's one more thing to lose or break or whatever. So get that if you need to.
Got it. Sounds good. Well, there you have it. That's it from us at the Accsoon booth here at NAB 2023. Mitch, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, stay tuned for more coverage from the show floor. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That would be very cool. I'll see you later. Bye.